how do we make Luke Cage dope again? How can we make Luke Cage great again? Because right now we haven't seen him. He hasn't done much. He's made some cameos here and there. But when you think about it, I think I want to use T'Challa as a gauge. Like all the upgrades he's gotten, he's freaking OP. We're not asking for Luke Cage to be OP, but we're also not asking for Luke Cage to just be stuck in Harlem and fight the good fight in the inner cities either. What can set him apart again, man? Like he needs some type of upgrade or something, dude. Does he need a sword? Like what does he need? Because right now, bro, like they might as well just kill him off. Because it's like, I just don't get it. I don't know what he needs. He needs help.
He has been quiet over these past few years. I would say ever since the Luke Cage Netflix series ended, that's when he was kind of peak, of course, in like popularity. So I don't know what he would need for a power-up. I think we need to get him out of Harlem, to be quite frank with you. You know, him staying in Harlem, fighting the good fight, trying to save the community. Two things I think people remember Luke Cage for, outside of just like his crazy blaxploitation origin back in the 70s and the wild he was doing in the comics back then. But the two things is when Brian Michael Bendis Avengers run, when he was the leader of the Avengers, no one really points to a specific story or a specific detail of that. They just say, oh, when he was the leader of the Avengers. No one really points out what exactly did he lead them to. When he went to Doctor Doom, you know what I'm talking about. He went to Doctor Doom and said, hey, you owe me $50. And Doctor Doom punked down, gave him $50. That is your career highlight for this, 50-year-old character, in a sense, on print. And in my opinion, I think you do need to get Luke Cage outside of Harlem, get him intermingling with other Marvel villains and storylines per se, you know? And if you are going to have him in Harlem, right, or New York City, I say get him out of Harlem, at least New York City, right? Why is he not intermingling with the Kingpin, right? You know what I'm saying? Why is he not messing with Tombstone or the Rose? Hammerhead. His rogue gallery is not that great, but there's so many rogue galleries for Daredevil and Spider-Man that they really mesh well and intermingle well with each other. I think Luke Cage needs to deal with those kind of characters. I know, a hero for hire. And if he was a hero for hire, you know, why won't people hire him in California or Florida or whatever, right? The main problem with the character right now is that, you know, Luke Cage is like that alpha machismo, black dynamite character, kind of cheesy, cool as he did in the 70s. You see him now. Can he really be cool like that if he's married and has a daughter? You know what I'm saying? Can he really be that rough, rugged, and raw like he used to be if he's married with a daughter? He can't be the angry guy like he used to be, you know, and that's character growth. I'll be honest with you, man. I think that's a chain ball on him. What do you think about the marriage to Jessica Jones and the daughter? Do you think that helps the character, or do you think it's a detriment at this point?
When folks hear about a new Luke Cage book, they're going to think, oh, he's going to be partnered with or be around Spider-Man, Daredevil, Hell's Kitchen, Kingpin. And that's what he's always done. I don't think people are going to be excited to pick that up. It's going to be the same stories that we've been seeing since the 70s in Harlem. You know, it was cool when he got out with the Avengers, but he was the muscle. And I think what Luke Cage needs is a power boost. Now, here's where I'm going with this. It has a version of the Captain America. He's got a twisted, remixed, sadistic version of the Captain America process. Luke Cage needs, I'm going to say something wild here. Get rid of the freaking hoodie. Get rid of the jive talking, I'm just in Harlem protecting this hood. No, he needs to get a suit. I'm thinking like, okay, Prodigy, who was a Spider-Man alias, without the mask and without the cape, but just the gold and silver and brown, those colors, something real tight-fitted suit, the ability to fly. If he has the ability to fly, I think that'll be dope, because now he can travel and traverse a little bit better. I think how do you explain the ability to fly? I think we go back like Ben Grimm. Ben Grimm they learned later in life that Ben Grimm had the ability to change back and forth from Ben Grimm. He blocked it inside of his mind because he thought it was ugly. But he actually had that ability and he lost it. I think if you go back and say, well, during the process, you actually have always had the ability to fly, and give him one other additional ability that affects other people. Like maybe even I don't want to call it a force shield. I don't know. You have to come up with something else. But I think the ability to fly would be dope. Get him out of Harlem, make him a little bit more of a world hero. So like when something happens in Gaza, something happens in Ukraine, he can fly over there. He's like basically the man of tomorrow. Like he's unbreakable. So like they throw shit, they start shelling him. He's able to break through all that. He's making a little bit more of a political statement on the international level. And then he deals, his conflict is like, yo, you're supposed to be Harlem's hero. You out here saving the world, like your prestige is rising, but at the same time, we don't know you anymore, Luke Cage. I wouldn't give him laser eyes because then you're like, oh, he's a Superman archetype. You don't want to do that. As soon as you're unbreakable, can fly and shoot lasers out of your eyes, no, you're basically screwed. And then I think Daniela Cage, who becomes later Captain America, she's a teenager now, dealing with her powers, and he's mentoring her. And she's not as strong. Her powers are kind of fluctuating. I think you deal with the daddy-daughter situation, the Jessica Jones situation, him also being a family man.
I like the dynamic of him coming in a little bit more official, not too official, but a little bit more in a sense that could lead to character growth where he's out of his element. You know, he's dealing with international, villains or crisis, and he's out of his element a little bit. So there is like that potential for him to like fail or not do things so cleanly anymore. I also like the dynamic of people back in Harlem saying, hey, what are you doing? You sold out. You weren't corporate. You're not helping us out You're not helping us out here anymore, etc. And also I like the growth, like you said, for his daughter, where he can teach her and mentor her to become the superhero she becomes in the future. And we could see that growth eventually grow into potentially, a solo series for her in due time. Because I can definitely see at least an artificial boost of like a gimmick of Luke Cage, new suit, new powers, new attitude. And people were like, all right, I'll check out the first couple issues. You at least get the sales just based on that premise. All those kind of things could help build the character into potentially a new era.